back, everybody. Finally got my Fender in. It's been about a week, but I've been riding this bike around, trying to enjoy it as much as I can before I go ahead and start tearing it down. The daughter's been hitting me up to go ride the bike, and she's only 5, so she enjoys riding just as much as I do. So give her a few more times before I tear it down for the rest of the winter, and hopefully I can have this done before winter is actually over and still ride it on days that are nice. But let's go ahead and get this thing tore down.
You know what you're doing, man?
No. I'm winging it.
What are you doing?
Disconnect the battery.
Why?
Well,
Oh yeah, try getting Fender backed up.
yeah, I'm gonna take this off, get all this off. Go ahead and take the tank in to Jasperson's.
Cool.
And so he's gonna do it for
Nothing.
yeah.
Figured you would have done it a long time ago.
I did it on mine. If I would have had it if my hole for the tool would have been wide enough. But that's why it's pulled out the center of it.
That's what she said. If this tool would have been wide enough.
Buy your own bags or you put Cecil ones on there?
Those are mine. Damn. Fucking everybody.
Roll past you in the semi today, I seen them black drop bags. I'm like, nobody got some bags on?
No, it is not going to be a Seth's bike. Not even close to what it's going to look like.
I said thinking it is. I tell you, I'm all fucking fired. I keep stirring the pot too every time Seth comes over.
Yeah, we hot knew it. Back of it.
Like Seth's.
You guys are assholes. Was you gonna do?
You just pull a measurement. Well, you gotta chop a lot off, dude. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, yeah, you do. You should have left your bags on. Because this has to be flush with your bags. He's like, I fucking hate you, Don. You got out of my garage. Go ahead, sit. Now you can put it. But you get it too far out here, it'll be way too fucking far out past your fucking tire. It'll look funny. So I said you should have left your bags on. Now you know how far in and out it's got to be.
Yeah, I probably should have done that.
Put it back on, man.
Take it off, put it on, take it off, put it on.
Hey, that's the whole...
Oh, I know.
Shoot, if you could have seen how many times I did that with my Ranger, you'd understand.
But that's a whole little tree, so that won't be so bad.
No. As long as you don't cut the hole too big. Huh, it's weird, man.
I mean, they're tapered. That's why I got it, because they're
Yeah,
tapered.
they're supposed to it's supposed to be like my bike, my blue one. That's how they're designed to set up
Yeah,
for a certain application, so.
because this is lined up with that hole. That one's
Close.
basically there.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the secret? Can I have chips? I want some.
Bring no bag.
I'm just kidding, Dakota. I don't want none. Thank you, though.
She will.
I know she will.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bring all back.
Got cookies too.
We're always gonna be a bad influence.
Just bring all back.
Get your bags for your both.
Ice cream.
Oh,
It looks good.
it's got to go in.
In? No one needs to go out.
Look at here.
We're gonna have to chop it and make it longer then. Oh, I know, I get that.
So I got everything mocked up here for a minute, and you can see how it all fits. I think that's gonna look pretty good. I'm not too concerned about these gaps in here, because I've seen a lot of bikes where everything's here and they just kind of rattle and beat on each other. I don't have to worry about that. But I will have to come in here and fill this in. We're gonna have to cut this fender and then stretch it in here to fit, to fill in this hole over here. I have been looking and I've been looking for a fender that I like that's gonna work with what I'm trying to do with this bike, and this is gonna be it. This has to be it. So we're just gonna cut it, stretch it, and call it good. And then I found one set of side panels to fit here, and they're gonna come down and around to the edge of here, but I'm just not sure. Buddy of mine, he's got some side pieces on his bike, and every time he runs it like that, the brakes heat up. I'm not sure if that's just an issue with those brakes, or if that's just because there's no airflow to them and keeping them cool. But if anybody else out there has any side panels on their bikes, let me know. Let me know where you got them from. Check them out. And then this is what this fender looks like all said and done. You can see where I cut the ears off, and the ears come down to about right at the top of this rotor. And that's how much I've actually dropped the fender, is about 2 inches. And we just barely clear here, but just enough, that's all that matters. All my bolts and everything on the backside, all the nuts, they clear, the wheel as well. I need to get in here and take the tank off, take that in, let them pull the rest of the dent out at the PDR shop. Alright, good night, honey.
What?
Here. Time to go to bed. Okay. Well, today was your last ride on the bike. It was my last ride too. See the new fender?
Yeah.
What do you think? You like it?
Yeah.
Gonna tear it down and get all the body stuff done, and take it over to Donnie's and get the motor rebuilt.
Aw.
It'll be nice and fast and everything for next year. But that was our last ride, was today.
I wish I didn't have a ride on this. I want to ride it again.
We're gonna ride it again when it's done. 'Cause it's gonna be a different color. It's looking a whole lot different now, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll put it.
Alright, come on. Go brush your hair and brush your teeth and go get to bed, okay?
I washed my hair.
But you didn't brush your teeth? So I finally got the tank taken off. I've got it sent into the PDR shop to get the few little dents that I have in it out of it, so I can get it ready for paint. So I'm gonna sit here and get these taillights put in here, but let me show you what I've got. So this is kind of what I'm thinking about putting in here. Like I said, I've always liked the idea of having car style taillights in a bike, but I think that is gonna look pretty good in there. So let me get to cutting this in and see what it looks like when we're done. Now I've actually pre-marked these up. All I'm gonna do now is just drill them in. Well, I finally got the lights put on. I think those look really good. And I found a way to get these gaps to close up. And all I did with that is I took the mounts from the outside and put them in on the inside, and that helped close them up a whole lot better. But for some reason, I think this kit, the saddlebag conversion kit here, I think that bar is either a little too long, or I think it might have been a little bent. But I'll get that one figured out. It's coming along. It's coming along pretty good. Well, now I'm gonna try to work on getting the bike lowered. I've got the 2-inch lowering kit for the rear here, and a 2-inch lowering spring kit for the forks, as well as the fork seals, because this one is leaking and I don't think I have any fluid in it. I know that because it bangs pretty hard whenever I ride it around. Well, let's get to installing this kit and see how this thing looks. For those of you that's got the soft tails, you already know that these are your shocks sitting here underneath the bike itself. And with this kit, it wants you to remove these 2 bolts here. In place, you're going to take these 2 little cup washers or cups and these little pieces here, and we're going to place those in the front end. We need to take those 2 nuts off the front of the shocks and lift the rear tire up probably about 3 inches or so. By doing that, you'll be able to put in these collars in between the rear of the frame and the shocks themselves. And this is another way of lowering your kit. Now this one's a little bit different from putting in your longer threads. You know, you had to take apart your shock canisters, and you had to pull the rod out and put another threaded rod back in that allows you to you know, raise and lower it whatever you want to. This one's just a basic 1.5 inch to 2 inch drop, and if you didn't like the 2 inch drop, then you can basically pick your bike up, lift it up, undo those, and be able to change your ride height a whole lot easier. But I've never seen one on a bike. I don't know anybody that has one on a bike, so we're gonna see how this is. It's a pretty cheap little part. It runs like 80 bucks. You can find it anywhere online. But I'm gonna see how this thing installs and go from there. Alright, so now that we got both nuts removed from the front of this, then we need to just come in here and remove the little bushings here. Make sure you get these sleeves out. So now that we got everything out of the way up here, got all those pieces removed, now we need to come back to the rear of the bike, and probably just gonna put a jack up under here and kind of secure this, and we need to lift this up about 3 inches or so, enough to pull these nuts back outside, out past this, so we can get those collars up in here and get those set in place. Alright, so right here you can see where I've got this put out far enough to get these little coupling nuts in there. I'm just gonna put them in, and we'll go around to the front and get the rest of this and get the rest of that stuff put on. Sorry about missing that one. Make sure you keep your bushings up against the framework up there and install your collars behind, in between the bushings and the shocks themselves. But now, lower the bike back down and get the threads to come out to the very front. Can't exactly put it down the ground yet because it won't come off the frame, so I'll have to lift up the wheels to get this thing off of my lift, of all things. And I ain't got the front done yet, but that is what I'm about to start on here. Now I need to get all this stuff taken off the front, so I can pull these forks out and put in my lowering kit. I'm gonna go 2 inches down, keeping everything equal, 2 in the front, 2 in the rear. Now we need to remove the caliper. Make sure you tie your caliper up to something so it don't go anywhere. So now we just need to get these off here. And just loosen up the pinch bolts here so I can slide these fork tubes out. You get these down here, tighten your pinch bolt back up, and you hold all this in place. So now that we got these off the bike and on the table, we're going to sit here and drain the fluid out. Now make sure that you bottom the fork tube down into the fork leg before you remove the dampener screw down here. Make sure you keep the fork tube down into the fork leg and turn this upside down and shake everything else out of it. If you try to lift this up, you could damage the bottoming cone and make it difficult for it to be reinstalled. So with the kit, you're going to take the stock spring and put in your progressive dampening spring in it. So now that you got your dampener screw out of the bottom of the tube, you should be able to take this and treat it like a slide hammer and get that seal, get the fork seal out of here. Just gonna rebuild this real quick. Now when you're installing this, make sure that you get your numbers up. Now I did take out the old spring, the stock spring here, and we're going to be putting in our progressive drop spring or dampener spring in here. And got that all assembly in here. Put your cap on. Now we can reinstall our dampening nut. And so since I don't have a seal driver, I'm going to take some electrical tape and make sure, if you do it this way, make sure you get it nice and level. You do not want this to be off. I'm just going to continue to wrap this around until we build it up big enough. So now, just take this, and that is now your seal driver. Now you know you got it all the way in. Whenever you can see that little lip in there for your retaining spring. And we're going to go ahead and reinstall that. And it's all installed. Now we install the new lowering spring. Tight wounds at the top. Put the washer in, like so. So there's little spacers that you get in here. You've got to check the preload tension on your springs. So with the fork tube fully extended, I need to cut this to a length that will allow the springs to fully compress about 1.5 inches with these installed. Now, I gotta do some math here. We got 1 1/8 inches already here, and we have 1 7/8 inches space inside of here already. So 1 7/8 inches plus 1 7/8 inches plus 1 1/8 inches equals 4 inches. So we're going to cut off 1 3/4 inches of this. And so now we have our 1.5 inches that we're going to go down. So now we're going to put in about 9 to 10 ounces fork oil. slowly work that down. Get all of the bubbles and air out of there. I'm going to have to replace these O-rings. See, that's a little worn. Same for this one. It's a little bit worn out. Not much, just a little bit. I've got the new O-rings installed on the fork caps. So now we're gonna go put the forks, start putting in the fork onto the bike. So I got this fork tube, got the fork installed in here. We'll just go ahead and tighten back these pinch bolts. Hold this all in place. So we'll get our first washer put in here on top of the spring. Then our fork, then our spacer, and then the other washer. So now I got this one done, I'm gonna go ahead and get the other one finished up and get this put on the bike. We'll get it down and see how low this thing sits. would say that sits a lot lower than what it did, that's for sure. I love it. Now, I didn't want to go solo here, because these are only 4-inch stretch bags. I didn't want to go 6, because I'd figured with the 2-inch drop, I'd be basically on the ground. This will still let me get in and out of my little shop here. It'll let me get on my trailer so I can take it places and enjoy riding elsewhere. Man, it looks good. Oh, let's put the seat on and see how. Oh, I still gotta go lower. I gotta get this. Forgot that I actually still had it on the little wood pieces here. Let me get that off real quick. Well, I say that came about right. It's kind of where I was hoping it would be. I only ended up getting the 4-inch bags. These are 4-inch stretch bags. With the 2-inch drop, I did not want to go to the 6. I figured that would end up being basically on the ground, which it would have been. So this will allow me to load in and out of my shop here without scraping, because I've got like a little ramp to get up in here. And it'll allow me to get off and on my motorcycle trailer for when I want to take this long distance. But I think that looks really good. She is pretty low though. Probably be about 4.5 inches off the ground, which would be good. Maybe. This thing has come a long way from when I first got it, that's for sure. And just about done with trying to figure out how I want this thing to sit, how I want it to look. But there's one more thing I just got in today. Let's see what this. Yes, I got a little razor pack. So basically the same one that everybody I see on the internet talking about getting it off of eBay, or I'm sorry, getting this off of Amazon. But I like it because I like to take stuff with me. Sometimes quite a bit of stuff, depending on what we're doing for the day. And of course, I do like to go camping off a motorcycle. I really enjoy that. But I figured that when my daughter's not riding with me, then I can go ahead and take all this off and not have the seat. Hey girl.
School time.
It's not school time.
What?
It's not school time, it's still the same day. Hang on just a second. So, whenever Dakota's always riding with me, this will give her a seat back. I'll come up with a way to get my armrest put in here. So she'll have armrest, because I like her having, you know, kind of in a cage in a way. But when she's not with me and I don't want to take a bunch of crap with me, then I can go ahead and just take this off the bike, because I ended up getting the quick release. I'm going to get the bracket put together real quick. I'm just going to set this up here and see what it looks like and show you guys. What? No. It's still the same day it was when I just picked you up. See, you're in the same clothes. You just took a nap.
Why is it morning?
Because it's starting to get dark now. So that's going to be your back seat right there.
It's going to feel great on my back.
Should.
I'm gonna ride this when it's summer.
I hope to have this done before winter's up, and on some decent days we can still go for a ride.
Yeah. That is still my seat or still your seat?
That's your backrest.
That works.
What do you think?
Back here, but not the top. Need some parts on the top and paint on the top. Is that right?
All right, so there it is. The little razor pack.
For my lid. For my
Hey,
lid.
don't get on the bike. It's everything's just sitting up there. Please don't touch it, okay? Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it, Secure.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you think about your seat now? What do you think about your back seat? And then we're gonna get your, oh, you love it? Yeah, I love it too. So we're gonna put your armrest on here so you can still have your armrest. Yeah?
Yeah, cause I don't have any hold-on stuff. Daddy.
So there's how it kind of sits. I think that's gonna look pretty sharp, guys.
And
Tell me what you guys think about the progress so far on the little bike here. So until next time, hit that like button, subscribe, click that notification bell, comment, do it all. I'll get back on this thing some more and keep you guys in tune. Check you later.